In the summertime. Long summer days.
You got more. Not really. Whenever the.
You still not.
Whenever the cool is.
Okay.
I'd like to call the Fairfield County Council regular meeting to order, Winsboro, South Carolina, Monday, April 25th, 2022, 6:00 p.m. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show the minutes approved. Invocation by Councilman Trapp.
Let us pray. God, thank you for allowing us to be here today to conduct the county business. Please let every vote taken today be for the betterment of Fairfield County and its citizens. Amen.
Amen. Can we get a motion for the approval of the minutes for both the audit presentation and the regular meeting?
So move, Mr. Chair.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show approval, 7-0. Other presentation, none. First public comment section, Dr. Roberts.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of council. We have two persons that signed up to speak. The first person is Jeff Schaefer.
Good evening. Is this on? Now it is. It's always a pleasure to be here. Good evening, council members. Hope you all had a great Easter. Happy holiday. Spent time with your families, did wonderful things. Came here to do the same thing for the citizens. I'm a little disappointed because when I come up here and try to tell you folks what's on my mind or other people's mind, it appears that my comments fall on deaf ears. Just waiting for the important people to pick their head up and take a look at who's speaking. But that doesn't happen because you don't care about the citizens. We're here as 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and gone. There's nothing really on the agenda here except the project update. When you start a meeting, we'd like to know what those projects are, and I'd like to hear that from the councilman. The administrator, his job is to do what you guys tell him to do. So I'm interested to hear what is it you're telling him to do, and what is the vision? I noticed that half the things are gone, so I presume we moved out of this building, and we'll be going to the new building very soon. But I'd like to know, what are the plans for the next few months? What are the plans for the next year? What do you have on? That's a big surprise. And are we going to have a full police department? More importantly, are we going to have a full EMS department? How's that going? Do we have enough employees to cover emergencies? And of course, fire department. It's a sad thing if you have a fire on the weekend and you live in my district, we don't have full-time firemen on the weekend. Your house burns. So think about those little important things that we all pay our taxes for, like the services we need, and try to provide that to us. I'm talking polite enough because I don't want to get kicked out again. Good night. Thank you very much for listening. And Mr. Trapp, thank you.
Randy Bright.
Randy Bright, District 1, Ridgeway. Projects. I have several concerns about the projects. My first and probably deepest concern is that the citizens have no clue on what we can afford and what we cannot afford. For 2 years now, I've been asking for budgetary and other reports to be posted online like they had been for the previous century or two, so that the citizens can understand the budget process and the kind of county financial situation from all aspects. But we have no visibility to that. There's no transparency. There's at least 5 reports, key reports, I've enumerated many times, that we don't have visibility to. And that includes the audit, balance sheet, income statement, the budget forms, both the worksheet and the operator summary. Don't have any clue. We don't know what we can afford and what we can't afford as citizens. And citizens need to be able to know the direction of the county. Citizens need to know where we're going, why we're headed, and can we afford it? And are we cutting too much? Are we spending too much? Are we spending more on wants than needs, which seems to be a real concern throughout the community? We don't know. Not only that, we don't even know how much we're spending on a monthly basis. The last time the pay register had been updated, anybody want to take a guess? Over a year ago. So we go over a year without any visibility to what the county's spending on a month. How can we decide? How can you decide? Because I assume because they're not online that you guys don't know either. How can we make decisions, financial decisions, millions worth of dollars, that we don't have an analysis and a basis to understand the financial condition? And I don't know any citizen in the world that's going to take government's word for how much money we do and don't have to spend, or our financial conditions. And I certainly, and I don't know any citizen in this county would accept anybody's word for what it is. Put it in front of us. Let us see. Why are you hiding it? We've talked about this for 2 years. We can't have projects without a financial understanding. I don't know how you can, and I don't know how the citizens can accept it. Thank you.
No one else signed up to speak, Mr. Chair.
Okay, public hearings none, ordinance resolution, orders none, board and commission minutes. We accept them as information. Item 10, board and commission appointments. If you all like, we can make a motion to appoint all of these. A lot of them are reappointments except Ms. Jennifer Ackmeyer, but you have a bio in your folder. And if you want to, we can get this motion to appoint them all.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Can we get a second?
Second it.
Okay, discussion. Ms. Foley.
I don't have anything against any of these board members, but I think we need to hit it and make sure that they hadn't extended their time, and I think they have. I think they've been serving ever since 2014. So we need to check with the clerk to see if we are trying to locate someone else to be on these. Because you got 3 members that's on the Behavioral Health Services Board, and if they extended their time, maybe we can let them stay on until we find somebody else.
Okay, any other discussion? One of the things, Ms. Roberts, you talked to Mr. Kennedy.
I spoke to his executive assistant, I guess, I'm not quite sure, Ms. Johnson. I've spoken to her several times. And these persons that Councilman Pauly's referencing have been serving since their term expired in 2014 and 2015. They've continued to serve.
And I think they were serving without an appointment, correct?
I do not see any record where they were reappointed after their term expired.
So these are reappointments. Any other discussion?
I think it's bylaws that say that they can do two consecutive terms.
Yeah, but again, as Ms. Roberts was stating, there was no appointment. They were just there. They served there, but there was no appointment.
Right, so my question would be, I mean, are you gonna put a time on it, like 6 months till they find somebody else, or? I mean, you can't just keep letting them serve 6 years, 9 years, 12 years,
No, all of these persons would be, as I understand it, all these persons would be, after they serve this term, they can't serve another term. Because, this is their, you know, they served one term and no one appointed them for the second time because it didn't come before council. One of the things we're trying to do is make sure we look at all these boards and commissions to make sure they have appointments versus just serving.
Okay.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Let the record show 7-0. Old business, none. New business, none. County administrator report.
Good evening, council. We have a report from our Economic Services Director. Not first. I think Mr. Williams is going to make a few statements, and then we're going to ask Mr. Davenport to come up.
Good afternoon, Cynthia Williams, Deputy County Administrator. First update is just to let you know, there was a typo on the agenda that went out for the second budget work session. It listed it as Monday, April 25th, when today, that's today, but the actual work session will be Tuesday, April 26th. So we will be meeting here tomorrow for the second budget work session. Just wanted to clarify that. And then also to let everyone know that Ms. Samara Yagi, she was at the last council meeting. She did win the popular vote and is the national unsung hero. We're currently coordinated with Petco to do the actual check presentation at a local Petco in the Midlands. So once all those details are finalized, I will notify council and we'll send out official and formal press releases, but she did win the popular vote. We got that confirmation late last week.
All right. Thank you very much.
Now, it is rather, I guess, all the council members, it is pretty hot in here today.
Okay.
So, when
Yeah.
you do the report, let's,
Okay. We're going to be timely. Mr. Davenport? Don't just update us on what's going on in our Economic Development Department.
Y'all want me to speed talk? Thank you, council. These are exciting times for economic development in South Carolina and in Fairfield County. We've seen levels of activity rise in the past, but never like this. My colleagues across the state all agree that there's more project activity today than there has been in the last 30 years and probably ever. Reshoring impacts, tariffs, worldwide labor shortage, rising consumer demand, and the need to manufacture where you sell are all driving project activity through the roof. Probably the newest and kind of biggest driver of today's unprecedented activity is the accelerated development of electric vehicles. These EV plants are massive. There are many in the planning stage, while others have already selected a community. Not only the EV plants coming, but the battery plants are coming as well. These facilities and battery plant facilities, they employ thousands and invest billions. Hopefully our investment in new product and critical infrastructure will allow us to compete in this growth area. To drive home the point of the need to invest in critical infrastructure, I would like to quote John Trueluck, my economic development colleague in Dorchester County, as he discusses the impact of Walmart's recent $220 million investment in his county. John said, this will be a historic day in Dorchester County. I want to especially thank County Council and County Administrator Jason Ward for recognizing 15 years ago that to have economic development, you have to have water and wastewater to support it. Walmart coming here today is proof that those continued investments do pay off. So like Dorchester County in 2004, we're also developing in the future of our county. In fact, we just completed a 450,000 square foot building pad, and I believe that would be the yellow pad on the overhead there. We had a ribbon cutting. It was fun, and this pad will serve new industries that are looking at the area in the future. To give you some perspective, that's 8 football fields. That's how big it is. So that's really exciting. And I think there's only one pad bigger in the state, and it's in Charleston near the port, and it's like 1 million square feet. And obviously with all the port distribution activities, that's driving that. When companies are searching for a new location for the business, they look for ways to save time, reduce costs, and eliminate risk. Graded pads and speculative buildings are great tools to accomplish these goals. We are already seeing activity on this pad. Our marketing efforts are paying off. Consultants are calling and asking about, getting preliminary information. So we think we're going to have success there soon. In addition to the completed pad, we're designing another 1,000,000 square foot pad just next to it, which is, to put that in perspective, that's 17 football fields. That's massive. So, and that will compete with the Walmart, the Charleston pad. Again, these pads will allow companies to build their facilities quickly and to meet their unique need. The pads are effective, but most companies today are looking for an existing building, speed to market. They want to get in and get going and get up and running quickly. So, buildings are at a premium, and there aren't very many of them available across the state, across the Southeast for that matter. So we're going to do a 100,000 square foot speculative building. It's on the red pad there, parcel number 9. It can be expanded to 275,000 square feet, and I know it'll draw activity quickly. Hopefully, we'll sell it before it's finished. Beyond these projects, we're also working on the I-77 mega site. We got bids back in a couple weeks ago that came in under budget, and we're excited about that. We're going to we're going to mass grade that property, and it'll be over 1,000,000 square feet. So that's happening now. The bid was awarded. In addition to mass grading it, we're going to do what they call daylighting, which is along I-77. We're going to selectively cut trees so that the pad itself will be visible, and hopefully we can put up a billboard advertising the pad. But not only that, saying, "Hey, we got other things going on in Fairfield County too, like this, and any other thing that we're working on." So that's all happening now. And finally, we continue to make progress on the sewer plant. As you've heard from my colleague in Dorchester County, water and sewer are critical to succeed. To that end, the Fairfield Joint Water and Sewer System has engaged an engineering firm to study and develop the most efficient route for the 20-mile plus long collection line. Additionally, the Joint Water and Sewer System has authorized the engineer to make specific site location recommendations to the facility itself. The ultimate location of the facility is not random. Among other things, the new plant will need road access, electricity, and somewhat of an isolated location. The current members of the joint system, the town of Winsboro and Fairfield County, recognize the importance of the need for new capacity and are working together to move this project forward. So that's all I have, unless you got questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Questions for Mr. Davenport?
Questions? Thank you very much,
Thank you, sir. I did want to thank you, Mr. Davenport, Mr. Zachariah. I did want to briefly inform the council that the sign to the Ridgeway Park site was vandalized, and we have filed a police report, so we'll keep you posted on that. I guess it happened over the weekend. Yes, sir.
Last week, I received an email in reference to the survey.
Yes, sir.
What is our plans as far as moving forward on that?
Just whatever the will of council is. We just wanted to get it to you, and how did you want to proceed with that? Did you want to bring it to the full council? But we just did the research and turned it over to you.
So you've presented to the rest of the board?
No, just to you, since you were the lead on that project.
Well, I would.
You want me to?
I would like for you to,
bring it to the full council,
full board, stuff like that, so we can move forward on that.
Okay.
Are you saying bringing it to the council to be voted on?
No. So one of the challenges we have now is we don't really have a kind of a project initiation process. We don't have to develop that. So as the project initiator, I wanted to have, give you the information and then figure out what you wanted to do to proceed with it.
Yeah, well, I don't see where it needs to be voted on because it's something that it needs to be done.
Okay. So, we did get the quotes and we'll just provide you with the information on the quotes and I guess the process of how you get an item on the agenda.
Okay, anything else, Mr. Whitaker?
No, sir.
Okay, we're down to, clerk to council report, none, county council time. Anyone? Anyone? Go ahead, Ms. Robinson.
Can we just make sure we have a little more air tomorrow, being there, so being here a little while? 'Cause I done had better days in the desert.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I think that was heard, loud and clear. I have a few comments, as Mr. Whitaker said earlier, about the defacement, I was saddened by the defacement of the sign at District One Recreation Community Site location. Not so much for me, but the citizen in the area. But I'm also very hopeful. I will explain later. The sad piece is too many in this county believe their communities and themselves should receive all the benefits of this great county. And if you get in the way, they must try to rid themselves of that hindrance, when in itself it is sad. I received a call Thursday and was telling Councilman Robertson about the call on Friday. The call, and we've heard from Mr. Ty Davenport today, but the call stated, said, Mr. Bell, you all are doing the right things to grow this county and build out its infrastructure. But many don't want to see you and this council be a part of the wealth that will come to the county for your work. As stated in the call, we're working to build the infrastructure in a way that gives us sustainable growth into the future. The ability to recruit industry, continue to build speculative buildings, provide rural water to areas that are without, and complete the high-speed internet to 96 to 98% of the citizens for Fairfield County, and an overall improvement in the quality of life for all citizens of the county. So I'm hopeful and purposeful. Back to the defacement of the sign. There are many who are working very hard to incite others, with many others granting permission. I understand. However, this sign doesn't belong to Fairfield County Council. The sign itself is the property of Fairfield County. Once the investigation is done by the Sheriff Department, Fairfield County, as part of its governmental duties, will erect a new sign. I am excited and hopeful that the citizens of Ridgeway and the surrounding communities will soon enjoy the benefits of a community recreation center as others. So I end with this quote by John Kennedy. If not us, who? If not now, when? Again, thank you. There's nothing else before council. Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. We stand adjourned at 6:23.